As Election Day approaches, Generation Z is increasingly showing less loyalty to traditional political parties compared to previous generations, many now more likely to identify as independents.
And so Natalie Duddridge spoke with young voters and political strategists about the rising anti-establishment sentiment among this group.
And as a young person who grew up, like many others, grew up during a Trump presidency, we came of age during a very historic and unprecedented time of apathy and disillusionment and anger towards government and institutions and the media.
William He says, like him, many young voters feel traditional institutions have let them down. So at 16 years old, he created his own nonprofit political organization called Dream for America.
I was motivated to get involved in politics and activism after the Parkland school shooting in 2018. We've raised $500,000. We have recruited volunteers from all 50 states and to help coordinate on engaging young people in this election and beyond.
While he is a registered Democrat, polling shows many younger voters are rejecting a two-party system. A Gallup survey shows more than half of Gen Z and younger millennials identify as independents.
And we have actually a lot of parties. When you sign up to register, there's independents, there's no party, the Republican and Democrat, there's so much more.
Surveys also show younger voters are less likely to vote in line with their families than previous generations.
People my age, they'd rather go vote by themselves, voice their own opinions, not their parents.
Do you have this sort of anti-establishment, screw the system vibe?
Zach Grauman, former campaign manager for Andrew Yang's 2020 presidential run, agrees younger voters are tired of party labels and broken promises.
And if you really think about it, almost every major institution has failed younger generations. You can go from the military to education to healthcare, housing, the financial system. We've seen global, the younger generations keep getting let down.
Grauman says this disappointment has pushed some younger voters, especially men, towards less traditional candidates like Donald Trump, who some see as breaking the establishment even if they don't agree with all of his policies.
Trump is the proverbial brick in the wall, and Kamala is more of the pro-institution. There's this misconception that younger people online are woke or far left. And that is not, if you talk to Gen Z voters and even Gen Z people, you're not going to see that as much. There's always the vocal minority that's going to get on both sides. What they are is anti-establishment and generally sort of populist. And even the young Republicans I talk to.
While surveys show a majority of women under 30 say they still plan to vote for Kamala Harris, their demographic has also seen a modest shift towards Donald Trump.
Trump 2024, in my opinion.
And explain to me why.
I just think the economy was much better, and I feel that Kamala Harris's, her beliefs and her guide, what she's trying to get with, and she's in office already and hasn't done anything.
So will younger voters' frustration leave them disillusioned or drive them to the polls? William He thinks they'll vote.
Always been campaigned on fear and division. And so I think for this election, for the very first time, our generation is experiencing a kind of campaign, a kind of country, and maybe after November 5th, a future that is grounded in hope and opportunity.
Natalie Duddridge, CBS News, New York.
And here we go. We are less than a week away from Election Day, and CBS News New York has everything you need to know to cast your own vote. Look for coverage of key races, information on early voting, and more in our voter guide on cbsnewyork.com. And as results begin to come in Tuesday night, we'll have special live coverage all night long.